Hey friend, Rico Macadori here for another video. And I want to say before we get started, if you find value in this video, what we share, I encourage you to like, subscribe, and share with other people as well who could be encouraged and empowered by it. I want to talk to you today about take the shot, stop waiting for permission. Had a unique conversation with an amazing friend. I'm wearing the United States Navy apparel because this is where I met this friend years ago. Those that don't know, I served in the United States Navy on board U.S. Carl Vinson, and that was a nuclear aircraft carrier. At the time when I was in the military, it was actually stationed in Puget Sound, Bremerton, Washington shipyard. And this friend was someone that took me under his wing. Not only was he a shipmate of mine, he was one of the top, at the time, chiefs. I believe he retired as a Master Chief, and he was always that kind of big brother that you had that really helped keep you in line. But not only that, but he also coached the basketball team that I was a part of. And he would share some things with me then that he reminded me of today in our conversation, which we hadn't talked in a while. But have you ever had a conversation with someone that you know when you were with them, you always talk, but then life happened and you had to go your separate ways? But when you pick back up the conversation, it's as if there was no distance when you all last talked. Well, that's how this was. And he was sharing a couple of insights, quite a few insights with me today, but I'm going to share a couple of nuggets that I learned from him about taking the shot and stop waiting for permission. Number one, what he taught me, that I'm looking at my notes, and he's saying, take the shot, number one. And here's the key point with that. Stop getting close to the basket to lay the ball up or dunk it for a sure 2 points and an easy score, passing the ball to someone else who's covered. You know why I did that? Because at a time, I was indecisive and didn't realize it. And I believe there was a seed that had been planted years ago. And when it came to pressure moments or came to when I was open and I didn't take it, but I had confidence passing it to somebody else and giving them an opportunity, it looked like, quote unquote, like I was doing a good thing, passing the ball off to them, because I was more concerned about, hey, what would they say? What would the crowd say if I miss it or blow the opportunity? Not realizing that people are going to talk anyway. And so it was that I did not have the confidence to finish, but the coach that was with me, my friend, had the ability to help me see or understand, like, man, you got all the ability in the world. You have the moves, you have the shots, you're right there at it. Why would you pass up on an opportunity that's right there in your face? Take the shot. How many of us have had opportunities to take the shot? Maybe not in basketball, but maybe in life, maybe in some decision that you have to make, but you're afraid to make the decision because it's not common to the people maybe in your family or the people in your past or the people where you currently are right now. But I want to let you know that that decision that you need to make, or that decision that must be made, it will paralyze you, or because you're more concerned about what they think, you won't take the shot because you're more concerned about making them happy and you be frustrated when in fact you got to be willing to be joyful with what you have and be grateful, even if it means ruffling a few feathers. So yes, take the shot. But then secondly, that I realized my friend was telling me today was take your foot off the brake and press the gas until God says slow down or stop. In other words, you have all the ability in the world, and it seems like the people who may appear to be less gifted than you are moving ahead or faster than you, not because they're better than you, but they're more committed to you, more committed than you to take the necessary steps by pressing the accelerator, going through the pain points that you may be trying to avoid because of the discomfort it will cause. And all the time while you're waiting and putting your foot on the brake, they're going forward because you're acting as someone that doesn't have the courage to do the same, but you have it. And in fact, here's the thing, they know you have it, but you believe that you don't have it. And because whatever you believe impacts the actions you take. So instead of propelling forward, you stay rooted and stuck in panic. And let me tell you something. There's nothing worse than having all the potential in the world, but being stuck in a place of stagnation because you're afraid of the smoke that comes with the level that you're growing to, or you're afraid of you're afraid of the attacks, or you're afraid of the potential conflict, critique, even haters. They're going to come when you decide to step forward and be who God made you to be. And for a while, yes, I did. I lived life keeping my foot on the brake and the gas for so long. And what happened was I got frustrated while everybody else was cool. Everybody else was nice to you and all, right? But the moment I decided to break free and risk being disliked for making him happy because of what he made me and called me to do, then I found out it wasn't as bad as I thought, because people are going to talk either way. My dad told me years ago that, son, if people aren't talking about you, you're not doing something right. And unfortunately, I'm the type of guy, I believe in the best for people. I'm very optimistic, right? I'm not nasty or arrogant. I want the best for people. And sometimes you can want the best for people more than they really believe or want it for themselves. And sometimes you'll give to your own detriment because you want to see them win. But there comes a time when you need people around you in your circle to help remind you of the greatness that's on the inside of you. Help remind you that, yes, you need to unwind. This is why accountability is so important. This is why having people in your circle that love you enough to tell you the truth, not just what you must hear for encouragement, also the things you may not want to hear for empowerment. And so this friend that I spoke with today, James Butler, it was so refreshing to speak with him, and he reminded me of who I am and what God gave me and the example and the ability I already had, though he was sharing some things basketball wise, but I could apply it to my life because I realized some areas that I actually held back in because I was trying to give people an opportunity to catch up. When in fact, because I was slowing down, I thought I was helping people, but I was really hurting me and the true me to come out to help the people come up to the true them God made them to be. See, when you hold back, you're not only holding yourself back, but you're holding those back who need what you carry to help them get free. And so I'm going to say this last point in relation to the point I just made about taking your foot off the brake and keeping your foot on the accelerator until God says slow down or stop. Watch this. Don't allow the disapproval or misunderstanding of people to be bigger than God's revelation of who he made you to be. I understand now that you can do everything right. You can dot every I and cross every T. But people are going to find something that will be disagreeable in their opinion of you. And if you put more trust and weight in the opinions of people, you'll never accomplish the fulfillment or be fully engaged in the assignment for you. See, my gosh, here's what it's like. Maybe I gave this a last video or another video time prior, but I got to give this again. I feel led to say it again. This is where God opens up the jail door. You're on the bench against the wall. And the distance from the bench you're sitting at to walk to your freedom may not be far. It could be short, but what makes it long is when you make the decision to get up, the voices and the people of your past try to talk you into sitting down and staying content with where you know God freed you from. But the moment you get the courage to get up and walk, and you be fully engaged and you fully decide to walk, what appeared to be a long distance because you allowed the other people's opinions to hold you back can be a quick exit, because you decided that regardless, I'm free, and I'm walking out of here. And it doesn't matter what you say or think about me. You're going to think about it anyway. So I'm going to be exactly who God made me to be, regardless. And when you make that decision, now either the people are going to be driven by you, or they're going to be drawn to you, or driven away from you. And at that point, you in your life, you're like, you know what? If y'all do that to me, fine. I love you anyway. I don't have any love lost because you don't understand. I'm just going to pray for you, but I can't hold back for you, trying to make you happy. And then when I get to the end of my life, I live in regret, knowing that there was much more to release than what I settled for. So today, I'm encouraging you, take the shot. Stop waiting for permission. You know, Babylon, the system of Babylon, programmed us to wait for permission. And in the apostolic, in the kingdom, God wants to deploy you into areas that even maybe the people who you're looking up to may not have been to. And they don't understand it because it's not their expertise or not their specialty. But be not surprised in the coming days as you become more of who God made you to be. The people that you looked up to and you thought you needed to get their approval before you step forward, they could be looking to what you have to help them overcome, regardless of their financial status, regardless of their celebrity status, regardless of all that. When you are sent to people, you're not afraid of those people, but you love them enough to be the authentic you, to help them become free so they can be who God made them to be for the people that they're called to, in the gifting that God entrusted them with. So with that being said, thank you so much for joining on this video. I look forward to the next time sharing more upcoming insights with you. And remember, your life is valuable. Remember, God created you to be an image and a mirror of his glory and reflection of his glory in the earth. And somebody's watching you today. So never forget that. You are important. You are valuable. And until next time, I'll see you.